Nicholas,
What is up?
dude,
Another
the
surprise show?
another surprise show. There won't be an episode this Wednesday, Thursday, because you're
hmm
getting a third one right now. Guys, the Oscar nominations are out. We're going to go through the nominees, kind of break down our thoughts, and compare them to our predictions, which, according to Gold Derby, I was 71% right, and C's get degrees, so we'll take it. We will take that any day of the week.
I don't know how many I got right. I'm going to be doing that as we go through.
Nice, nice. All right, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick it off with I have them pulled up on Variety. Visual
hmm
effects.
VFX. Let's do it.
The nominees were The Creator, Godzilla minus one, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. I believe I was 3 for 5 on that.
I was also 3 for 5. I did not have Napoleon or Mission Impossible.
Same. Not upset at
That train wreck really got them a lot of points.
yeah, and I'm not upset about it either. Both had great visual effects.
That
Um,
they did.
I am sad Society of the Snow couldn't get that third nomination in with this category, but very happy to see Godzilla minus one on here.
That's a big
I
win for it.
and I saw behind the scenes the team who made that movie like reacting to the Oscar. It was very cute. I highly recommend people watch it.
I
But yeah,
did
I
see
think
that one.
I think it's a solid list. I'm not upset about it,
I have yet to see Poor Things, but this
dude.
did definitely pique my interest on it. So I'm very, but
But
I honestly, who do you think's
Did Poor Things get nominated?
no, I was reading my list. So I have
Gotcha.
it split screen.
You're
Um,
good.
who do you think's gonna be a front runner for it?
Dude, it's tough. I think my early prediction is going to be The Creator,
hmm
because while I would love to see Godzilla minus one take this, I feel like almost the nomination is the award.
Also, I think the VFX for the creator were the best thing about the creator.
I agree. So, I mean, we'll see. I do think it's
Yeah,
probably down to those two, though,
hmm definitely.
for sure, for sure. So I'll move on up to, I'm just going in the order Variety has them.
Yeah.
Best film editing.
Who do we got there?
And I was 4 for 5 on this. The nominees are Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I put
Ooh.
Barbie instead of Anatomy of a Fall.
I went 5 for 5.
Nice, nice
I
call
really, I,
there.
I'm excited to see Anatomy of a Fall. I've heard nothing but great things. I mean,
It's
it has a best picture, spoiler alert, but
yeah,
like,
it's really good. And I will say something that from these awards, what I've gathered, I
mhm.
used to think that the awards were going to be between Oppenheimer and The Holdovers. I now think that Poor Things and Anatomy of the Fall are gunning for Oppenheimer's chances. Not, I don't think they're going to surpass them at this point, but I think those two are forces to be reckoned with.
I mean, there's no shyness of Oppenheimer nominations, though. I read that it was one away from breaking or tying a record for most nominations,
Yeah, that's
which is
true.
wild.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Crazy. But yeah,
hmm
I don't hate any of these nominees. I think all of these were very well edited films. Although the Killers of the Flower Moon, it's 3.5 hours. You think an editor could get that down shorter, but I'll allow it.
But as you've said many times, everything in it, you have no idea what to cut.
True. I don't know what you could remove from the movie. That is
And the
true.
editing and the pacing, to me, kept me engaged the entire runtime.
Fair. That is true. Production
Plus
design.
Thelma Schumacher, is
Yeah.
that who it is? Or most
Yeah.
nominees for editing now.
Yes. Yes. A
So,
couple records getting broken this
hmm
award season. Best production design. The nominees were Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I went 4 for 5 on that. I had the
Barbie.
color purple instead of Napoleon.
I had Asteroid City instead of Napoleon.
And honestly, if you're asking me, I think Asteroid City deserved it over Napoleon, but Napoleon did have good production design, so it's not the worst thing ever.
I have to see that.
Um,
That was an Apple movie, right?
what was?
Napoleon?
Yes, I don't know if it's on Apple yet. now. It
I
might
know
be.
Killers of the Flower Moon just came out. I imagine they're
Yeah,
probably going to want to try to push it on Apple before the Oscars come out.
for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, these are great nominees. I think it's going to come down between Poor Things and Barbie.
Mhm.
I don't think anything else has competition there, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon and Oppenheimer are both period pieces, which I feel like technically typically get a lot of love, but I
Yeah.
just think from what I've seen of the trailers of Poor Things, the world that was built for it seems really cool.
Hmm.
And Barbie's Barbie. They built the dream house and
Yeah.
the Mojo Doja Casa house. So
Yeah. True. True. I think tonally, if you want to go, I think tonally, Poor Things and Barbie nailed their production designs, which is I think why they have the edge. But
mhm.
still.
Yeah, no, definitely
Next,
good nominees.
yeah. Next up is makeup and hairstyling. Um,
Makeup and hairstyling.
the
Okay.
nominees are Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. Was very happy to see Society of the Snow get another nomination. I was 4 for 5. I put Flower Moon instead of Golda. But yeah, how'd you do?
I got 3 of 5. I did not have Golda and I did not have Society of the Snow.
Yes.
What is Golda? Do you know what that one is?
I don't. That was a surprise one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Let's see,
I
Golda.
I think this will be my show's only award that it wins.
Maestro.
Yeah.
It looks like it is a Helen Mirren movie.
No. Well, there you go.
Golda is a
Um,
2023 biographical drama film. Film depicts the life of Golda Meir, the fourth prime minister of Israel, particularly
oh,
during the Yom Kippur War. It stars Helen Mirren and Liev Schreiber.
okay.
Damn, it's
Okay.
all their wiki's already up to date for the Oscars.
Yep. Oh,
Wild.
they get on that shit quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's between Maestro and Poor Things. The Willem Dafoe makeup looks crazy in Poor Things, but I think they might give it to Maestro here just because it might be the only award it walks away with.
It shouldn't get any if you ask me, but that's beside the point.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that movie later on after this.
Yes.
But let's see. Up next is gonna be animated feature film.
Oh boy.
The
Where is
nominees
this?
were The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Robot Dreams coming out of nowhere.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's a neon animated film, which I
Oh,
mean, hey, good for them, but I
did you
am pissed about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
did you get um did you get Robot Dreams in your didn't you get a neon uh pack?
Oh, I may have. I have to look. I might have it now. I'll have to take a
Because you
look.
got Ferrari, right? And that was
Yeah,
neon.
yeah.
And it was like a whole like 8 pack.
Mm-hmm. I
I
will have to
did
take a look.
not. How did I do? Spider-Man, Boy and the Heron, Nimona. I went 2. No,
Damn, dude.
3. I got 2
Okay.
wrong. I had Mario and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not Nimona and Robot Dreams.
Yeah, I
You were right
went.
about the Netflix movies.
Yeah,
They
listen,
they love them.
they do, and
I
I
have
went.
heard good things about Nimona though.
Yeah, me too. And I went 4 for 5 on that one. Honestly, it's between Spider Verse and Boy and the Heron. If you're asking me today who wins at Spider Verse, I would not be shocked if Boy and the Heron steals it, though. I would not be shocked.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna come down to the next few weeks where the buzz goes.
yep, yes, it is. But let's do international feature film.
All right.
I only got 3 of 5 on this one. International feature film was Lo Capitano from Italy, Perfect Days from Japan, Society of the Snow for Spain, The Teacher's Lounge for Germany, and The Zone of Interest for the United Kingdom. Capitano and Perfect Days, or I'm sorry, Zone of the Teacher's Lounge were the ones I did not get.
Yeah, I did not have Il Capitano and Teacher's Lounge as well. I think we had the same predictions
Yeah.
though of the 5. So
And I was wrong. I was telling people that Japan submitted Boy and the Heron, but I guess they submitted Perfect Days.
Hmm.
So hey, good for that. Good for
But
them
I
for
do,
having their cake and eating it by getting this nominated and Boy and the Heron and Godzilla. Good for Japan.
in three completely different categories.
Yes.
Oops, sorry, I tripped on my wire.
You're good.
Um, no, I'm definitely excited to check out Society of the Snow, and I need to watch Zone of Interest just for
Listen,
your take on it.
everyone in the world loves this movie. Look at how many nominees it got. Everyone loves this
That
movie.
got a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah, everyone loves this movie. I don't love this movie. I don't think it's horrible, but it's not, I don't think it's this good. To me,
Hmm.
I'm being dead serious. To me, it only deserved 2 nominations, and it didn't even get nominated in one of them I thought it deserved, which we'll get into. But the one nomination it deserved, in my opinion, was sound, which it did get, which I was happy about. But yeah,
Hmm.
we're gonna skip over the ones that we didn't predict. But actually, no,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm gonna read them, but then we'll just go past them. Best documentary short film were the ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, and Nine Nine and Waipo. Good for them. Best documentary feature film uh, were Bobby Wine, The People's President, The Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in Maripol. Big surprise with still not being nominated on here. The Michael J. Fox
Yeah,
film.
I had that one and it did not get it.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I only went like two. Yeah, I went 2 for 5 on this.
I got yeah, I got 20 Days and To Kill a Tiger.
Yeah, I got 20 Days and Four Daughters. American Symphony, from what I've read online, I haven't seen it, but I've apparently that's a huge snub as well.
Yes, same here. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep it so I can do a edit at the end.
No, no, you're good.
Um, did you do animated shorts?
I'm about to.
Okay.
Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Petroderm, and War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. For that one, I was 2 out of 5.
Oh, we didn't do it. Oh, I didn't do animated short because we didn't
Yeah.
go over that one. I am shocked that Disney's 100 years celebration short didn't get it.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
I
surprising.
mean it was good, but Disney had a rough year, but it's just more it feels like a very much a pick while you're down kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much so. And for live action short, the nominees were The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Wes Sanderson.
No
Wes
Strange Way of
Sanderson.
Life
That was
with
the Pedro Pascal one, right?
yeah,
And
and
Ethan
Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I haven't seen the others yet, but
Hmm.
Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is probably one of the best short films I've ever seen.
Oh, and
So
I think it's the front runner.
I think so too. Wes
Yeah.
Anderson said, "You're not going to give me any Oscars for my movies. That's fine. I'm walking away with one though."
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And good for him. Let's do best original score now. Some
All
interesting
right.
choices in this category, and this is where I will brag. The nominees were American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I was 4 for 5. I had Spider-Verse instead of American Fiction, but dude, I told you, I knew they were gonna do Indiana Jones. I knew it.
You did. You did. No love for the killer Spider-Man, but that's
Yeah.
fine. I went
No,
three for
no.
five.
And speaking of no love for the killer, there was no love for the killer at all.
No. I
Shame.
my again, my guess was only just sound and score, but
Yeah.
what can you do?
What can you
Yeah,
do?
they do love their John Williams.
Hmm. Best sound. We got The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest. I was 3 for 5 on this. And I don't know who's going to win, but I'm being fully honest here, Nick. I'm giving out this award. This is me talking. I give it to The Zone of Interest. And if you
Yeah.
watch that movie, you'll see exactly what I mean. And this is coming from someone who I don't love that movie.
Hmm.
I would give this award to that movie if I were voting.
I went 3 for 5. I had the killer and Ferrari, not creator and zone of
Yeah,
interest.
I
Or no,
had
sorry, not Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I had Ferrari and Napoleon instead of
This is the first Oscar nominations for a Mission Impossible movie. This in VFX for
I
this
think so.
movie.
I think so. You're right.
Long overdue, if you ask me.
And nothing for John Wick 4.
Well, they decided not to piss off Tom Cruise, which is a smart call.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Let's move into costume design.
Yeah.
The nominees were Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. All great costumes. I was 3 for 5. I thought Color Purple and Wonka could sneak in there. But what are your thoughts on best costume design?
I went 4 for 5. I had Color Purple instead of Napoleon, mostly because I didn't really see Napoleon, so I didn't
Mhm.
expect it to kind of sneak into these other categories.
Gotcha.
Um,
I felt stupid for not picking Napoleon, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
normally the period movies do well on those.
it seems like it would be Barbie's, but I haven't seen Poor Things. Killers of the Flower Moon, though, does have all these sort of Native American
Yeah.
outfits and attire, which just kind of the whole storyline that you heard from the consultants on the film that they were
Mhm.
having them personally made for the movie by the Osage and all that kind of, so that could definitely
Mhm.
give it some points there.
You're right. You are right there. Um, let's go to original song. And well, I've talked with Kyler a little bit today. I did not bring this up, and my God, do I want to know his reaction to this?
Hold
Um,
on, I'm trying to find my list. I don't know why I can't. There we go. Okay.
best original song. The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. I'm Just Ken from Barbie. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Uh, Wazazazi, or A Song for My People, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, from Killers of the Flower Moon. And What Was I Made For from Barbie. I think this is What Was I Made For's award to lose.
I
Um,
really hope it's I'm Just Ken.
and here's the thing, I only got 2 right on this one.
I did too. I did too.
But yeah, I have to ask Tyler what he thinks of Flamin' Hot getting an Oscar nomination. I know he's not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Well, the Oscars are not going to not nominate Diane Warren.
Hey, listen, you're not wrong.
I mean, how
You're,
many has she? She's won a ton, right?
I think I could be wrong, but I think. All right. So this next one, this is where something when you use the phrase "came out of nowhere," you're referring to this in this category. Best cinematography: El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Dude, El Conde came out of nowhere and took
With
this
this is
nomination.
cinematography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that one either.
Yeah, I looked it up later. Apparently I think it's on Netflix.
Is a Chilean black comedy horror film
Mm-hmm.
sold.
Yep. And also this is where this was the one place I thought Saltburn was going to get recognized.
It is a Netflix one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, this was the one place where I thought Saltburn was going to get recognized. And honestly, the other award that I would have nominated Zone of Interest for was this one. I thought the cinematography in Zone of Interest was quite good.
I ended up 4 for 5 on that one just because I had Saltburn.
Yeah, I was 3 for 5. I did not pick Maestro.
Ah,
Let's get into original screenplay. I was 5 for 5 on this.
hold on, I gotta pull it up. What do we have? I went 4 for 5. I had Saltburn in there.
Mm-hmm. The nominees were Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May, December, and Past Lives. I knew it. I knew May, December was going to get in there
I
somehow,
knew
some way.
I knew a lot of people were shocked by the lack of more May December.
Yeah. Not me. I think the competition was really stiff. I think the best person who had a chance was Charles Melton, and he peaked too early in the award season, I think, because I think he gives the best performance in the movie. And then Natalie Portman close behind.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's original screenplay. And here's the thing, dude, I'm going back and forth with this. Part of me thinks it's going to go to Past Lives because this will be the only award that it can win. But then part of me is like, wait, if Past Lives wins this, basically this award comes down to which movie is going home empty-handed: Anatomy of a Fall or Past Lives. And Anatomy of a Fall has way more nominations than Past Lives, but it's not going to win in those other categories. And we're not even talking about the holdovers. The holdovers could take this award too.
I hope Past Lives gets something.
Listen, I hope so too. But I legitimately have no idea who's going to win this. Like, I have no clue.
Yeah, that's a toss.
It's between three. It's between three.
No, it's going to be a tight race for sure.
Yeah. Let's move into adapted screenplay. And the thing that sucks is since the strikes happened, the WGA awards are after the Oscars, so we'll have no precursor award show to base our answer on. So it's just going in raw.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a tight race this year. That trophy's staying with me. I can feel it.
Oh, dude, I know. I'm so pissed. Adapted screenplay.
This was a shocking snub.
Yes. The nominees were American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things in the Zone of Interest, over Killers of the Flower Moon. That is amazing to me, considering that they had readapted that source material to be told more from the perspective of the Osage. That shocks me greatly. And dude, and I don't want to be rude and mean to other filmmakers, but dude, nothing happens in the Zone of Interest. Like, why that screenplay was nominated, dude, I'm so furious about it. Because like, here's the thing. I just don't understand it. And now granted, a lot of people love that film. And the thesis statement of that movie, what the movie's trying to do, is there. And it makes that point. Literally nothing else happens or works. Like nothing. And
average on Letterboxd of 4.1. That's a certified banger.
I know. I can't stand it. And look, if people who love this movie, I'm not shitting on you, because clearly I'm in the minority on this. And I think that Jonathan Glazer is a great filmmaker. The movie just wasn't it for me. Just wasn't it for me.
Listen, sometimes it just doesn't click.
It happens, right?
I know a lot of people that don't like Oppenheimer, and that's gonna probably potentially sweep the awards here.
You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about our video when we do our reaction to the Academy Awards. And I won't name them, but there's going to be a certain someone off camera who's just talking shit about Oppenheimer the entire time. And I cannot wait for our comments. I cannot wait for the comments of like, who the fuck is off screen just shit talking Oppenheimer? But hey, going back to taste, it's zone of interest for me. Look at how many awards my show has for you. I'm sure that's a bit surprising for you. So hey, that's the magic of the subjectivity of movies.
That is fair.
Let's move on to Best Supporting Actress.
All right.
The nominees are Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Nyad, and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. I was 4 for 5 because I put Penelope Cruz. Nick, I'm so furious because in the video that we recorded, I said, watch out for America Ferrera. She is the dark horse of this race. Why didn't I go with it? Why didn't I just go with it? It was right there.
Did you see the internet collectively go, what?
Yes, but here's what I will say.
I wonder what clip will be her video.
We all know it's that monologue, but like
I hope it's her running up to the car and just stopping in the middle of the road.
Oh man, that'd be really funny. No, but like, here's what I'll say about the nomination. Is it who I would have nominated? No. You know who I would have nominated? I would have nominated Penelope Cruz. I still think America Ferrera gives a great performance in the movie. And her monologue has resonated with so many people. When my mother watched Barbie, and quick backstory for those who don't know the great Shonda Burdette, she doesn't love movies as much as I do, and she only really likes positive vibe movies. She watches Barbie. I asked her how she was. One of the first things she told me was, I love that speech that the mother gave in that movie. I thought it was so well done. One of the first things she told me. And she normally doesn't say things like that. Normally it's like, oh, it's good, or oh, it was funny.
I mean, even got praise from James Cameron, and that never happens.
Yes. So Am I completely shocked by this? No, I mean, I'm a bit surprised, but I said it on the show the other day. I'm like, watch out, like this could
Yeah,
happen. And there it is.
there it is.
Now we're going to move on to Best Supporting Actor. We have Sterling
Yes.
K. Brown in American Fiction, Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling in Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things.
Did you just put a thumbs up on here?
On what?
I just saw like a thumbs up bubble on your screen.
Oh, must have been me. Whoops. But yeah, I am so mad at myself because I think you went 5 for 5 on this, right?
I did go 5 for 5.
Dude, I'm mad at myself because this was my 5. And then
Mm-hmm.
when the SAG Awards came out and they nominated Ruffalo or
Willem.
Defoe, I was like, shit, I think are they gonna double up? And then who do we lose? And I brought out Sterling K. I'm thrilled he got nominated. And I'm
Yeah.
happy to be wrong, but I hate that I let the SAGs get to me on that.
Did you see Ryan Gosling's statement about it?
I did, yes.
Mm-hmm. That was handled a very, very good message.
I think so as well. I think so as well.
Well,
And we'll get into what his message was about here in a minute.
oh yeah.
But yeah. I honestly I think it's Downey Jr.'s to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go Best Leading Actress. And here's the thing. I'm mad at myself on this one too because I broke my own rule, but we'll get into it. Annette Bening for Nyad, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. I was 4 for 5. What were you?
I was, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 3 for 5.
And here's the thing. I wish I had a doll of the thing to like put up. But listen, I told you early on when I watched Nyad, I said, hey, I think Annette Bening and Jodie Foster could get in. And then Annette Bening lost steam for me, and she got the SAG nomination. And I should have, I switched up when I should have listened to SAG and when I shouldn't have on Penelope Cruz and Defoe, and then this one. I was like, you know what? I think she's losing steam. She's not going to get in. And I ultimately did not choose her. I chose Greta Lee.
I also had Greta Lee.
But I'm not surprised she got in. Margot Robbie's not nominated, and that was kind of what Ryan Gosling was referring to. And listen, it was a tight year for Best Actress, so I understand. But I also think Margot Robbie's thrilled to be nominated as a producer on the film.
Definitely.
But at the same time, I can understand why people are upset when the center and heart of that huge phenomenon is not nominated. I get the shock factor as well.
But the two supporting are.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, thrilled Sandra Hüller got in for Anatomy of a Fall. She's excellent in that movie.
Yeah, she snuck in. I had her for Zone of Interest for supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Good year for her.
Great year for her.
Yeah.
Great year for her. Let's move on to Best Actor in a Leading Role. And I was 5 for 5 on this, so I'm pleased. We got Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Nicholas,
I also went 5 for 5.
Can I gotta give you some credit. And going back to my narcissism, it's credit because you listened to me. When I saw Rustin, I said, hey, don't listen to the bullshit. Coleman Domingo is getting nominated.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watched Rustin and you said, Coleman Domingo is getting nominated. And I'm like, yes, he is. And so I'm glad that we had the wherewithal to realize that. But yeah, listen, solid performances on here. And I'm going to say something, I don't know if it might be controversial. I'm going to get your opinion. I think Paul Giamatti is winning this. 100%.
I think it's really between him and Cillian Murphy, and I'm at like a 60-40. I'm at 60-40, 60 Cillian.
No way. I think Giamatti's taking it home because I think this could be the only
big fat liner to Rhino to Oscar winner.
Yes, I think Giamatti is going to take it.
We shall see.
But if Cillian took it, I wouldn't be mad. He's great in that film.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to best.
Do you think he'll go to In-N-Out Burger, Paul Giamatti?
He better.
That's what I would do.
Yes. Dude, I would start getting my agent on the phone with fast food chains and going, where should he go when he wins, huh? Like, let's make a deal.
Who wants him?
Yeah. Let's move on to Best Director. Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Nicholas, I was 4 for 5.
Ooh, I went 3 for 5.
I'm surprised. No Greta Gerwig. I would have fucking taken out Zone of Interest just because of how I feel about that movie, but very happy for Justine Triet getting in there for Anatomy of a Fall. Very happy to see that. She did an excellent job directing that film. I think that there were a number of directors that could have gone in here. I think Celine Song for Past Lives could have gone in there. I think Alexander Payne for Holdovers could have got in there. It was a tight race. And
well, that's what it comes down to too. I mean, you only have 5 slots for director, yet you have 10 Best Picture nominations. So naturally, typically, I would say probably in the past, the majority comes from that pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's just picking your 5 out of that.
Yeah, and while I wouldn't have chosen Jonathan Glazer, even though I think he's a great filmmaker, I'm not surprised by it. Hence the prediction of it.
Mm-hmm. See, I had Celine Song in there. I was holding out hope just because of it being her first major feature and kind of getting all those other little recognition points. So I was kind of hoping that it would give her that bump for it too.
Yeah. And then we'll do Best Picture, and then I have a couple other things to point out and a question for you.
Yes.
Best Picture, which I was 10 for 10. American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Right now, I think it's Oppenheimer's award to lose, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that...
I mean, I think that Holdovers kind of had a strong start, and I feel like a lot of it has sort of sizzled outside of Paul Giamatti and Divine Joy Randolph.
I agree.
But I think it's a great movie personally, but I think just the technical aspect of Oppenheimer, the balancing, it being nominated, and everything else, I think kind of points to it being the movie for this year.
Me too. But now I think the movies that are going to gun for it are Poor Things and Anatomy of a Fall, it looks like to me. But a couple things I wanted to point out. We mentioned some Oscar history happening. John Williams broke his own record as being the oldest person to ever be nominated for an Oscar at 91 years old.
He just keeps breaking his own record.
Yep. And we, for the first time, have 3 pictures in Best Picture that were directed by women, 3 separate films. Only nominated 1 though, and that's always an interesting thing. I almost feel like people in the Academy are like, all right, who's the one woman? Like, who's the one woman that gets in? Like, it's probably not on purpose, but it's so funny. It's like, you can nominate Justin Triet and Greta Gerwig and Celine Song. Like, you can nominate both or all 3 of them.
You can do this.
Yeah, like there's no rule preventing it. It's just, it's always so funny that happens.
I feel like there was a lot of love for international as well this year, with Anatomy of a Fall and Zone of Interest. I feel like usually one kind of just squeaks in there.
Yeah. Oh, and I did some research about Anatomy of a Fall, because France didn't submit it for Best Picture or Best International Feature.
Yeah.
Apparently, when she won the Cannes Film Festival prize, the Palme d'Or, she started shit talking the president of France. And so people are thinking that as like revenge, they didn't submit the movie, and now she's nominated for Best Picture and Director and all these awards.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a good storyline, though.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good storyline.
And here's a question I want to run by you, because this is I could barely do my job today because I was thinking about this because of who I am as a person. Right now, you asked me, 2 days ago, you asked me, who do you think is going to win Best Adapted Screenplay? I tell you it's American Fiction, because I feel like it's going to be one of the only awards that it really wins, right? With the backlash of Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig not getting nominated for Barbie, do you think that has boosted its chances to win over Academy votes for adapted screenplay?
Honestly, it always had my vote for adapted screenplay as taking it home regardless. I think that has only added fuel to that fire
Right.
of it, but that was always kind of my choice coming out of this. Honestly, to me, it was between Barbie and Oppenheimer for that one. And I think that what they were able to take with Barbie and bring it to the point where there was a conversation of whether it should even be original or adapted, and you have all these nominations for it. I feel like that just speaks to what that movie was able to do.
Yeah, and I think that, to me, it was between American Fiction and Poor Things. But with this, because I also thought Greta Gerwig was going to get a Best Director nomination.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like, to me now, if I'm in the Academy and I voted for Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie and they didn't get in, I'm like, shit, well, I'm putting my vote on Barbie for screenplay. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but then where does that leave American Fiction's chances for other things? Where does that leave Poor Things? It keeps happening, Nicholas, because
I think American Fiction's gonna go home empty-handed.
It might, but I think if it's gonna win something, it's this award. I think this is the best chance it has.
Yeah, but I also don't think they shouldn't delve into, oh, well, it needs to win something because it was nominated for a bunch.
No, correct. But
yeah.
This is what happens, right? Like when Get Out got a bunch of Oscar nominations, which was great because it's a great film.
Yeah.
All of us knew, like, oh, it's screenplay. They're going to give it to screenplay. Like, that's typically what happens because screenplay is a very big award. It's an important thing. And it's like, here's your stuff. Sometimes the nomination is the win, which I think might be the case for Godzilla. But it's just one of those things where, I don't know. Like, dude, the two screenplays are going to be the hardest fucking winners to pick.
That's the one you're going to go back and forth on. You're going to have like 20 different sheets.
It's going to kill me. That and Emma Stone or Lily Gladstone.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to fucking win that.
Dude, one of the Stones.
Thank God for Oppenheimer. Thank God Dune did not come out. You know what I mean? Like, thank God Dune did not come out.
Dude, Dune would have just thrown a giant wrench in this whole thing. Dune would have just taken all the technical stuff.
Yeah.
It would have been
and then maybe like Zone of Interest gets knocked off, Because now people were thinking, yo, if Anatomy of a Fall had qualified for Best International Feature, then there would be 2 for Best Picture, but only 1 could win international. Like, that would have been crazy,
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking Oscars, man. I love it. I love this shit. It's my favorite time of the year, better than Christmas. But yeah, guys, that's the breakdown of the Oscar nominations. Some fun, crazy stuff that happened. Please give us your reactions and your thoughts in the comments below. Sorry that the show was virtual today. Just had to get on this quick and, life happens. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week on the Roundtable.
Yes.